What's up, everybody? My name is 2KJ from the Cappin with the Crew podcast. And do I have your attention? I just want to make sure. So I gotta tell you guys something, man. The Cappin with the Crew podcast isn't just a hobby. It's a necessity at this point. Because I think it's been proven time and time again that we cannot rely on corporate media to tell us about our game. I really have to stress this. The creation of the Cappin with the Crew podcast was to spite media. The media that tries to put this dark cloud on the game that we love. The truth is that the Cappin with the Crew podcast has no corporate ties. It's an actual podcast that's owned by majority black owners. We all are basketball fans first, students of the game second, and thirdly, respectful basketball players. I don't think you guys understood that. We're students of the game. That means something. When you have, I'm not going to name any names, but when you have individuals that will get on television and put out a narrative that every player in the NBA isn't a bucket, that every player in the NBA isn't cold, that every player in the NBA isn't out here destroying anybody who gets in their way, basketball wise. There's not a single move they don't know. There's not a single play they don't know. There's not a single thing of basketball IQ that you could teach these brothers. Anybody who's played in the NBA, let me make this clear to you. From the years 1955 to the year 2021, there hasn't been a single player in the NBA that is garbage. That's facts. And I want you to try to check me on that. There's not been a single player in the NBA since the inception of the game that has been garbage. Period. But the media wants to tell you otherwise. They want you to think that these brothers are not ballers. You know, Stephen A. Smith had the audacity. I said I wasn't going to say no names. But Stephen A. Smith has had the audacity to tell two of them, to retire. One was averaging 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists at the time. That player was Kyrie Irving. The other player was averaging a triple-double at the time. The other player was Russell Westbrook. But he said they should retire. And you guys watch these shows. I don't get it. Skip Bayless had the nerve, the audacity to call out LeBron James on a daily basis. Every single day since he's come into the league. And he got an opportunity to sit down with Mark Cuban, who asked him a simple question. Why would you run a zone on LeBron James? Skip Bayless had no answer for him. He doesn't even know what a zone defense is. And this is the individual we have talking about basketball on a daily basis. Capping with the Crew isn't a hobby. It's a necessity. It's a necessity to have honest debate in good faith. It's a necessity for us to have a forum where people can actually debate who? Luka Doncic versus Jason Tatum without having to call the other person trash, without having to say, oh, well, this player's, he's a bust. Well, he's definitely not going to end up where he's not going to win a chip. Like, What? I'm not going to get upset. Charles Barkley is one of the 50 greatest players of all time. Not a single championship. You can't take that away from him. You cannot take that away from him. Go look at his stats and tell me Charles Barkley isn't one of the greatest of all time. You tell me who's putting up those types of numbers. Name 10 people in NBA history that put up those type of numbers. And all you can say is championship. Bill Russell, the GOAT of basketball, the greatest of all time, has 11 championships. But you guys won't even mention his name in these debates. You won't mention Wilt Chamberlain. You won't mention anybody from that era that laid the groundwork for the game we have today. Bill Russell is still walking the earth right now. Give that man his flowers. I wonder who said that. Oh, right. Cappin with the Crew said that. Man. I remember back in 2018, we had a debate. It was Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant. It was one of our first heated debates, right? Good times, man. God, I wish I could go back. At the time, one of our hosts, Quan, was making the argument that Kobe is better than Jordan. And we called it Cap. Oh, yeah, he was capping. Cap. Kobe better than Jordan? Come on, man. That's Cap. Until we heard it out of Jordan's mouth. It's really not Cap. Because if Jordan himself said it, I don't know, man. We were doing this debate a long time ago. Now every day we have to hear the LeBron versus Jordan debate. We've done hundreds of different debates since then. And we're still hearing the same one on TV every day. What does that tell you? I've never heard a Trae Young versus John Morant debate. Never heard it. I never heard a Donovan Mitchell versus CP3 debate. Never heard it. Never heard anything about the youth in the NBA. Applauding them. Applauding the youth in the NBA for how amazing their talent is. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just a hype beast for Cappin with the Crew. Maybe I think our podcast is just so amazing. But I feel that I have a duty to continue to produce this content because nobody else will do it. We are the only ones doing this. Period. The only black-owned NBA debate show. Period. There's nobody else. I checked. I did the research. Did the metrics. There's nobody else doing this. And our competition is literally First Take and Undisputed. Well, game on.